Welcome to Faith and Freedom. For the next few minutes, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you as we discuss legal victories and challenges to your fundamental freedom and religious liberties. Faith and Freedom comes to you from Liberty Counsel, a civil liberties education and legal defense organization. Join us now as Matt Barber, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel, explains the latest legal issues all across this country. In the courtrooms of America, Liberty Counsel is winning the battle for your constitutional freedom.
A three-judge panel on the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals upholds California's gross intrusion into the homes and offices of children, parents, and counselors in California. I'm Matt Barber, Vice President of Liberty Counsel Action. Joining me in studio today is Daniel Schmid, Litigation Counsel with Liberty Counsel. Daniel, you've been working on this case. You've logged in hundreds of hours on this case in the Ninth Circuit. California's ban on change therapy, a politically motivated bill that is rooted in not in science, in junk science. Frankly, the ABA, or rather the APA, has confirmed that there's no conclusive evidence that change therapy for sexual orientation harms minors, yet this bill passed anyway. And despite all the evidence that we put in our brief, hundreds of pages of information, the Ninth Circuit just ignored what we had to say and went forward with this politically motivated bill. Give us an update.
Yeah, Matt, and it was certainly a disappointing decision, wasn't it? These three judges sat and ignored long-established precedent and fundamental rights that are so ingrained in the history of this nation, as far as parental rights and the rights to self-determination and counseling and in other situations, for the homosexual agenda, quite frankly, for a agenda that is driven on an ideological opposition to this type of counseling. Has nothing to do with science, as you were saying. It's all the reports that they have of harm are anecdotal, and this is from people who are self-reporting, who are ideologically opposed to this type of counseling. In fact, in other states where they're proposing these bills, they're actively seeking people who have been harmed by this, advertising in homosexual magazines and things of the like. So you can tell that the deck was stacked a little bit against the constitutional history of this country when they went in and tried to pass these types of laws.
Right. Well, the good news is we're going to be appealing. Frankly, we were not particularly surprised by this decision coming out of the Ninth Circuit. After all, the Ninth Circuit is the most overturned federal circuit court in the land. So we weren't really that surprised that they would come down with this decision. Disappointed, but we were fully prepared and already had our contingency plan to move forward, because this would have been appealed either way. California would have appealed it to either to the full Ninth Circuit or to the Supreme Court. We intend to do the same. Share with us some of the next steps, where we stand now, and where we go from here.
Sure. We are in the middle of preparing now. We were, as you mentioned just a second ago, we were prepared for any contingency that would have come down. We are now in the midst of preparing a petition for a rehearing from the entire Ninth Circuit, an en banc panel, which will give us potentially two cracks at the apple, so we can attempt to have a Ninth Circuit en banc panel reverse this Ninth Circuit decision, which is frankly quite possible because even the Ninth Circuit's three-judge panel that ruled against us ignored Ninth Circuit precedent, which is and basically changed a lot of what the Ninth Circuit had said on issues very similar to this. So that sets us up good for a potential rehearing en banc. And the good thing about that, too, is that it stays the mandate, which allows these counselors to continue to engage in this type of counseling until the Ninth Circuit en banc reaches a decision on whether they will hear it. So that's one of the benefits of doing it en banc. And then, like I said just a second ago, it potentially gives us another bite at the apple. If they decide not to take it, we can go to the Supreme Court.
Okay. Now, all hope does not hinge on California. Obviously, Liberty Counsel, we have filed suit in the state of New Jersey, where Governor Chris Christie, a Republican, inexplicably signed that politically motivated ban on change therapy into law. again, ignoring all of the evidence, the lack of evidence that and even the AAPA's admission that there is no empirical evidence, particularly that change therapy harms minors. You made a great point, Daniel, that I want to grab onto for a minute. You said that even those who do anecdotally share their this parade of horribles of so-called harm that was done and suicidal thoughts they felt. These are adults who are now homosexual activists in and of themselves. Right. So clearly have a politically motivated ends that they're trying to meet here. So clearly, this is about viewpoint discrimination, about making it illegal for children to even explore the causes of their same-sex attractions and how to reconcile those attractions with their system of values. So they want to put the kibosh on that, and the political and legal benefit there is that then they can continue with their born that way myth that it's homosexuality is somehow immutable, unchangeable, and so forth, right?
Yeah, that's correct. And isn't it a shame that we have to fight our own conservative politicians on this now? I was disheartened, to say the least, by Christie signing that, but I don't think it's a surprise. I don't think he's very conservative anyway, as he's shown. But just think about the implications of that. So in New Jersey, a 5-year-old can smoke medical marijuana under the bill he signed the same week. But that same 5-year-old, if he was abused and develops unwanted same-sex attractions and begins to struggle with them and seeks counseling for it, Governor Christie says, well, no, that's harmful. We can't have that. So drug use, no problem. But seeking counseling consistent with your sincerely held religious beliefs, off the table, no question about it.
Well, the whole mindset of those who are anti-ex-gay and the anti-ex-gay movement that are seeking to silence ex-gays and to gag counselors and parents and even children across the country, the incoherence of their arguments. Out of one side of their mouth, of course, they're arguing that something that is immutable, unchangeable, a person's chromosomal makeup, their biology, they're born male. They say, again, against all the evidence, that they can somehow go through some kind of cosmetic surgery and hormone therapy, and that a man can somehow become a woman. And they'll even start this with kids as young as 7 years old. In California, I believe, as kids as young as 11 can actually go through a so-called sex change operation. That's as abusive as it gets. Yet out of one side of their mouth, that's okay, and that is changeable and mutable, something objectively not changeable, a person's very biological makeup. Yet on the other side of their mouth, something that even GLSEN, the Gay, Lesbian, Straight Education Network, and other homosexual activists even admit that homosexual feelings is rooted in feelings and behaviors and is, quote, fluid and can, quote, change over time. Yet when it's politically expedient, they will try to argue again that it can't be changed and that it harms children. They don't know which side they're coming from, do they?
No, they don't. And even the authors of these bills here in New Jersey, the language in the bill readily accepts counseling for a person seeking to transition from one gender to the other. That's fine. They can come into the counselor's office
and have affirmative counseling.
And get to change gender or to affirm and support their same-sex attractions, which is change. To say that you want to push them towards their same-sex attractions
and behaviors,
is to change them. But yet, it's only change away from homosexuality that we don't like, that's banned under these bills, which is insane. If it's harmful to change one way, then certainly it's harmful to change the opposite way. And so it's just ridiculous. It's, the theater of the absurd, if you will.
Yeah.
And the one thing that's troubling about this, you mentioned this just a second ago, is that the studies show that this will change over time and generally spontaneously disappear.
Yeah.
But the studies have shown unless that's interfered with by something. Well, here, the homosexuals and the government in California and New Jersey are now, interfering with that, and they will harm these children because of it.
And that's what this is all about, folks, interference. A radical homosexual activist lobby interfering with your family, your children, your parental rights, and your ability to reconcile unwanted same-sex attractions and behaviors with Christian values. Well, Liberty Counsel, we're not standing for it. We're going to continue with the fight. This is politically motivated. It's rooted in junk science. We intend to expose this for what it is. Go to lc.org to find out how you can help. We cannot do this without your generosity and your gifts, because we do all of our work pro bono. Or give us a call, 800-671-1776 today.
You have been listening to Faith and Freedom with Liberty Counsel. We hope that we have motivated you to stand up for your faith, family, and freedom. We can accomplish a lot when we work together. Get informed and get involved today. Sign up for our free monthly newsletter, The Liberator. We will send it out to you free of charge. Stay informed with our Liberty Alert email updates. Just click on the website at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776. Tune in next time to learn more about your rights right here on Faith and Freedom.